All right. Well, as you know, the program is Talk Shop, where we tell the truth and let the chips fall where they may. And you know the slogan here? Very simple. What time is it? Answer me again. It's nation time, man. It's nation time. All right. Today, I'm going to talk about something quite interesting. It's a mutini because today, I'm practically taking you to school. I'm going to be talking about some very, very interesting things. But the bottom line, and I said that the simplest way I can describe it is that in Ghana, we are going through an epidemic of SNS. I mean, who you? In Ghana, we are going through an epidemic of SNS. And you are going to ask me, KSM, what is SNS? Folks, SNS here, Sika D and Sika P. Stick around. When the program begins, you see what causes the epidemic and can we get out of it? Talk Shop. We'll be right back.
Is it the luxurious rooms? Or the serene green surroundings? Is it the tempting swimming pool? Or the classy conference room? Or the cute gift shop? Maybe it's our chef's array of cooking delights. Whichever way, it's all about Cactus Creek. A most respected hotel. 055 039 5007.
Yes. We are definitely back. Let me tell you something. I'm going to give you a few words that keep in mind. Keep those words in mind because somewhere along the line, I'll be talking about it. First of all, I've given you the topic. And I said the topic is the epidemic of SNS. You know what an epidemic is? It's something like a disease. Like COVID was an epidemic. Okay? I'm talking now about an epidemic, and the epidemic is called the epidemic of SNS. And the SNS I'm talking about, Sika P, Sika D, is an epidemic now. But folks, let me go over a few things that I want you to think about, because later on, as I present, these things will come up. The first thing that I want you to put in your mind, look it up. Have you heard this expression? We are sick and tired. I'm sure you have. The I can't Ghana. Oh, Charlie, me, this thing, I'm sick and tired of it. Charlie, me, this inflation, I'm sick and tired of it. So. We use the expression all the time. Sick and tired. Pacho, keep that in your mind. We'll come to it, okay? Another expression that I want to throw out today, that I want you to keep in mind, is the expression, the bus has left the station. Have you heard that expression before? You're talking about those who actually forget about this. The bus has left the station. I like that expression a lot. It means whatever it is you're talking about. And then but who talks about this thing anymore? The bus has left the station. And what happens when the bus leaves the station? We'll be talking about it, but I want you to keep it in mind. Okay, the first thing I say, sick and tired. The second thing is the bus has left the station. So after all this introduction, this is where I'm going to start now. Nature, the laws of nature takes every nation, it takes people always through some kind of evolution. This is what I'm saying. The laws of nature allows people to go through evolution. What is evolution? Evolution is a series of things that happen. It could be cultural, it could be economic, it could be political. Certain things come and they create a series of events. That evolution, as you're going through that, it forms what we call a certain basic principle of your state of mind. And that is where your state of evolution is. And then they make us take your time and bear with me. You understand what I'm saying? So I am saying today that in Ghana, we are going through our own evolution. Where is our state of mind as a nation? What are our priorities as a nation? That's what I'm talking about. And as you go through evolution, what happens is that your culture places a premium on certain things. In Ghana, do you know what our culture is placing a premium on? Corruption, lies, hypocrisy, greed, rapacity, and I can go on and on and on. Somehow, our culture is placing a premium on this. And when I say it's placing a premium, all I mean is to say, these things have become a part of our culture. The opposite of all of this is having a conscience and having an integrity. But do you know something? Sadly, because of events that we have gone through, our evolution has taken us to a state where conscience and integrity, when we talk about that, you can say that the bus has left the station. Are you getting the connection now? When you talk about conscience, when you talk about integrity, you can say, when it comes to conscience, integrity, goodness, actually cares and forget it. The bus has left the station. Really? It has left the station, so what are we dealing with now? And that's what I said. Our state of mind is full of greed. It's very sad, though. It's full of avarice. And so that has brought us to the place where I say, if you're looking at the psyche of Ghana right now, Sika pe and Sika di, the lust for money and the desire to spend nyafu. That is where we're at. But let's go to the next session where you can really understand where I'm coming from. The youth of Ghana. And the youth, minimum ekasa no. Cameraman, we are youth. I'm talking to you. And all the youth out there, listen to me. You are now in a country that is going through its own evolution. And unfortunately for you, the evolution you're going through now is that of Sika pe, ni Sika di. So it's sad, folks, but the youth are growing up and this is all that they are being exposed to. I kid you not, oh. I'm a counselor, I talk to the youth day in and day out. Let me tell you this, and if any youth thinks I'm lying, reply me and tell me, KSM, what you said was a lie. Not all of you, most of the youth right now, they are going through this evolution where the youth right now has no time to say, oh, Charlie, I'm going through apprenticeship. I have to understand this. These are the things you need to do. No. The youth is not interested in that. Why? Because they've been exposed to this epidemic of SNS. Unfortunately, not all of you, but most of the youth out there, their mindset is all on Sikapeti Skedie. I've met some interesting, very brilliant youth. And I wanted to give them an opportunity to work, study the work, and get paid and everything. The first thing they want to know, KSM, so how much are you giving me? Really? And if it's not substantial, And I'd be like, no, take your time more. You know, in this world, you have to study certain things. You have to understand the basic craft. You have to understand the rudiments. So take your time. Oh, Charlie KSM. Too long. I mean, yeah. So that is the state of mind of the youth. Fortunately or unfortunately, they don't have time. Oh. In our time, Charlie, take your time, study this. You need to go through apprenticeship. You need to understand this, that, which are all true. But I'm saying this, that we have evolved to a certain point where all of those things now, they are on the bus that has left the station. There's no youth that you want to engage and you're going to tell them, oh, I'm going to give you a whole year to study this, and then the second, no. Open them. I am there to get some cash. Why? Because that's all they've been exposed to, folks. So in a way, I don't want to be in a position that, oh, I understand the youth. It's okay to think like that because you have been exposed to it. No, that's not what I mean. I just understand because we, in my generation, and maybe in the generation before us, did not leave you any legacy. Or the legacy we left you is not substantial. It didn't jam. So all you know now is what you see on TV. All you know now is what you hear on radio. And it's all about money. And now. So I can't blame you. If in your life you don't have the time to sit and think through anything, no. I see Sika, KSM, how much? I feel like I said, don't ask me how much, but come through apprenticeship. No. That bus has left the station. So folks, this is what I'm talking about today. And today, Mom dear, this show is purely dedicated to the youth. Because the bus that can really bring you where you want to go, unfortunately, that bus has left the station. Can I blame you? Let me start from, look, like I said every country goes through this evolution, and these things depend on politics, depend on economics, depend on religion, and number be brave that you go through to finally to get you to frame your state of mind. And that is where we say you have evolved to a certain standard. So I'm not talking about one or two people, I'm talking about the whole Ghana. As a nation, we have this epidemic of SNS. Sika, that's all our mentality. Sadly, the youth, you are picking up on that. And then we get angry. The youth these days, they don't have time to study anything. They just want the money. And my question is, where did they learn that? Where did they learn that? Who left them a legacy of understanding what it takes? So folks, this is what I'm saying. That the bus of integrity, the bus of conscience has left the whole Ghana. I'm not talking about Ubia and Kwan. We can start from politicians. Tell me how many scandals you've heard that the government has been involved in. Disgraceful scandals. And then we could take away, and then we could try away, and then see the procurement, this, that, all very pathetic, nasty, greedy, grabbing, sikadie, and sikape. And I'm saying, what do we expect the youth to learn from this? This is the order of the day. Integrity and conscience, sacrifice and good citizenship, that bus has left the station. You know, sometimes when I'm talking to older folks like me, I'm an old man. I'm almost 68. So when my generation is talking, we talk about, oh my goodness, back in the day, people had conscience. Back in the day, people had integrity. Back in the day. Let me tell you a very interesting example. I think when I was interviewing Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, it came up. When he said that there was once upon a time an electoral commissioner called Justice Aban. And then the head of state was called I.K. Echampong. I know all the youth that I'm talking to, you don't know him. My generation and older, we know him. I.K. Echampong. Okay, there got to be a time when I.K. Echampong, people were talking about, okay, military rule is enough. I.K. Echampong should hand over to civilians. Do you know what I.K. said? He said, I'm worried about handing it over to civilians because I don't trust the multi-party system. So I.K. Echampong said, I'm introducing a new system of government for Ghana. You don't know. No. I.K. Echampong says, I'm going to introduce a new system of government called Unigov. Unigovernment, union government. And he says, when you have multi-parties, this party, poor car, which is true. So how about every intelligent person who has something to offer joins the union of one government? Your friend Unigov. And Ghanaians were very skeptical. I tell you the truth, there's some good things he said about union government. But Ghanaians were very skeptical. They said, this man, instead of handing over, he wants to stay in power. Not only does he want to stay in power, he wants to make sure he stays in power and becomes the head of state of the new union government. What I say? So people were saying, we don't agree. You know what the champion did? He says, okay, let's do a referendum. And a referendum is when the nation decides to go and vote on a certain decision. So when there was argument that we don't want the union government, blah, 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 a champion says, okay, I'll do a referendum. You, the citizens of Ghana, go and vote. And the vote is either yes for union government or no for no union government. That was the thing. A champion say, Unigov, Yenko vote. It was called a referendum. So folks, people went and lined up to vote yes or no for union government. And guess what? No one. Decisively no one. But let me tell you what happened. The head of state called the electoral commissioner and threatened him that even though no one, I want you to declare the results for yes. Won't you? Even though no one, you are the electoral commissioner, and you're going to declare the results. And I am insisting that you declare the vote and say yes won. Guess what? Back in the day, conscience has not been on the bus which had left the station. People still had conscience. So in spite of the threats coming from a military man to Justice Abman said, I will never declare that yes won. No one. So under the threat of life, he fled, jumping his oar. He would have been killed. But this is what I'm talking about. Those were the times when people can say, tell me your conscience. Do you know offers that were being thrown at him? That's one power for beer or conscience, and the thing is no, and he's not going to declare yes. But that bus has left the station. And I'm very, very sad to say, right now, what our psyche is known for, the kind of premium, sadly, that we place on things, on corruption, on greed, on theft, name it. It goes everywhere, from government to civil servants to everywhere. This is Philly. When the policeman stops you, free. It's not like he has to take you back to the car and hide you in a technically, inspector, and negotiate quietly with you. No, Philly in your face. The policeman, KSM, that's it. What am I talking about? This is what the premium of our psyche is paying and glorifying. Sika is rampant everywhere. Nobody is excluded though. I'm talking about what we are going through as a nation. I only suggested the youth because I want you to understand that unfortunately the youth who are growing up into this culture that is battling with this epidemic of SNS. And that is the majority of anyone. You talk to anybody that you want to hire or anybody, anything, folks. The question is essentially how much? No, it's good. Because we live in the world to make money, we live in the world to make profit. So in the way I encourage that you have to get paid for service and everything. I understand that. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting to the point where the only thing, only you, that is important to you is Chalisen Alimami. And let me say this at the risk of incurring the anger of many. Let me say this. Unfortunately, I really do believe that the party in power now has understood this. That Ghana for the we are at a state where it's all Sika penny, Sika die. So if you want to buy somebody's loyalty, cash. I kid you not. And I'm not the one that's going to sit here and tell you. But I'm telling you, the amounts of people in this country, whether they are the security, whether they are in the media, whether they are in the judiciary, whether they are kings, whatever they are, I am telling you, once the government figures out that, Charlie, you can be a stumbling block, make the offer, man. Sikape, iskedi, and then boom, you are gone. You see, once upon a time, conscience was important. Once upon a time, integrity was important. I'm saying once upon a time, oh, why? Because that bus has left the station. And if somebody wants you in the media and some government or some party or somebody wants to give you money to write an article, and then I come to you and I say, but Charlie, why did you take the money? Why did you write the article? Only conscience. You know what they will say? KSM conscience yedi. That's what they'll tell me. And I'm not talking about just the media, and anywhere where somebody is probably trying to use money to influence them, and you think that okay, naturally you shouldn't have taken the money. You should have held on to your integrity. What the question is integrity yedi. Integrity yedi. So folks, the truth about that is that people's economic situations are so dire. And that's the thing. Sikapelo is not limited to whoever doesn't have money, whoever is broke, they want some money and they want enough to feel good. But those who are up there, with cash, they have money, they want more. Make KSM. Yes. I also have a budget that I need to, what I'm saying. But don't you ever in your life for once think that money is so important that it should override your integrity and your conscience. For now, yes. It's very, easy to say, na conscience yedi. Na conscience yedi. So you start thinking, so how long will this continue? Right now, we are in a country hit by the epidemic of SNS, Sika penny, Sika die. Whether we like it or not, that's the whole thing. asofo. Have you heard some of the pastors lately? It's all about the money. I've seen a pastor who has told his congregation who want to travel abroad, bring your passports. And they have brought the passports, and he's stepping on the passports so that they can get a visa. You see how stupid people get. When you see Kapini, see Kadio, ways that the bus of conscience has left the station. Oh yeah, bring your passport. They will stamp in the passport. So we have youth of Ghana. Instead of sitting down and planning to craft a vision, they have been sucked into this SNS epidemic. And that's all they're thinking. Not thinking beyond that. Patrol, not all of you. I want to say that I'm talking generally, which means for the most part that has affected many, many people. But yes, on top of all of that, there are some really, really, really outstanding individuals out there who I am happy to say that for them, the bus of integrity, the bus of conscience for them has not left the station. But we're dealing with that in this country. Masa. And I was telling you that it's an era that we go through. And in Ghana, because of the many, many, many reasons, and everybody knows the reason why they have gotten to where they are now. But I'm saying there are reasons that drive you to that. But then, do you remember when I was starting, I told you that I want you to keep something in mind. I told you about the bus has left the station, and I told you sick and tired. So let me end on sick and tired. Do you know how many times we say, "Oh, me my brain anyway. I'm sick and tired of this. Okay, I'm sick and tired of that. Okay, I'm sick and tired of that." Especially in Ghana now. The corruption, the greed, the avarice, the backbiting, the hypocrisy. People are sick and tired of it. But we're still dealing with it. Now let me tell you what is going to happen. So let me see evolution. Experiences, politics, economics. It takes you to a point where it shapes your thinking. So right now, where we are now, facing this epidemic of Sika, it's an evolution. This is what we are now. And if you sit down, you can trace gradually where we started from and why we are here. You can trace it. It is traceable. But here's the good news. Here's the good news. You heard about what I mentioned earlier? Sick and tired? That's it. We keep saying we are sick and tired of this, we're sick and tired of that. But let me tell you today, listen to this. It is not enough to be sick and tired. Obiya is sick and tired. Everybody is sick and tired. Do you hear people saying, "Oh, Ghanaians cry, we are not angry enough," and all of that, which means we are not sick and tired enough. So I'm looking you in the eye and telling you it is not enough to be sick and tired. Do you know where we should get to? And we are getting there. Trust me, folks. We are getting to the point where we become sick and tired of being sick and tired. One more time. It is not enough to be sick and tired, though. You have to be sick and tired or being sick and tired. And I'm telling you, Ghana, if you hear we are not angry enough, I say, it's all because we are just sick and tired. But we are getting there. It's the evolution, no? Evolution will take us through all these facets. And right now, evolution is taking us through the facets of SNS. And the premium it is placing now is on greed and avarice. If you can go and deal with all the cocaine you want and have all the wealth you want, take it to church, you'll be made the chairman. and they will glorify you in church. That is where we are. Evolution, we are now placing a premium on the bad things. That is where we are. And that will continue to go on and on and on, where all of us as a people, we keep placing the premium on the negative things. Let it continue. But folks, won't you? There's a day coming. And that day, you can guess, on that day, we will be sick and tired of being sick and tired. Then the evolution would have taken another turn. See, the revolution means the evolution. Our thinking, our direction, our aims, our ambitions, our inner feeling, everything will take a different turn. Why? Because we are sick and tired of being sick and tired. So Charlie, today on Talk Shop, I want us all to understand that where we are now, remember one time I did a show, me say, all you political parties that you have money, that think you have money so you can spend and do with it, go ahead and enjoy it. It's your time. We have placed a premium on corruption, on greed, on the filth. We have placed a premium on it. So this is the time now, enjoy it. But there's a time coming where we will be sick and tired of being sick and tired. Because actually, my sick and tired, I'm a bread. I have to do something. Folks, all I'm saying for this program is we are going through an evolution, but we are not going to stay in this evolution of Sika Piet and Sika Die for the rest of our lives. You see, the funny thing about evolution is that you do things that are so not correct, and then people become sick and tired of it, and then bam, it changes, and they'll be focused on doing the things that are correct. Watch me. Very soon there's going to come a time again in this country where we will place the premium on conscience, we'll place the premium on integrity, we'll place the premium on the value of goodness. Thank you, folks. And trust me, we are few weeks away from voting. Few weeks. And trust me, people will pay you money. They will. But all I'm saying is this. Integrity, Sika di. Into the Sika not di. But vote for your conscience. A very, very good friend of mine went into an election very, very recently. I won't mention where they were having the election. It's kind of confidential. But he panicked. Whatever he's looking for, he was running for a general secretary position, and he panicked. Why? Because on the day of the election, the cash that his opponent came to distribute, he was scared. This amount of cash, where do I stand? But I'm very, very happy to inform you that when all has been said and done and the votes are casted and the votes have been counted, he won. Integrity he knew, but to me womb. So in the meantime, in between time, no matter how hard you crash truth to the earth, it shall rise again. And this is one nation, and we are talking about nation time. And I'm assuring you that the day will come that the evolution will turn, and we shall start placing premium on the correct things that will move this country forward. And on that day, we can finally say, Charlie, we are striving on because we are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Okay, folks, we've been talking about this nonsense must stop on Talk Shop. And it was very, very hot with our very, very first episode. Well, on the next one coming up on Tuesday, I'm also going to be picking up from there, from another angle. But the same thing, this nonsense must stop. Join me on Tuesday at 7 p.m.